I'm so excited to be here, folks, because again, it seems like maybe it's old home week for me, because I was sitting there thinking yesterday that it's great to be in my home city. Born and raised here in Charlotte. I'm glad that you call Charlotte home, because that just excites me. Mayor Fox being here. It's such a cool place to be, a cool place to grow up and live. And in your opening, talking about NASCAR, I mean, I was here and going to races at Charlotte Motor Speedway as far as NASCAR is concerned. All the way back to like 1965 was the first time I ever sat over there as a little kid with my dad watching racing. And then you mentioned one of the guys that I really just thought a whole lot about, and I got a chance to meet him when he first came to Charlotte, Ric Flair. I mean, like, woo! I mean, you know, you got to have some Ric Flair. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, this is what Charlotte's all about. Speed, energy, excitement. So it's great to be a Charlottene. It's great to be here with you today. I love the theme of your show, because the way I look at it, when it comes to NASCAR, we do that each and every week. Because we go back and we look at where we were last week. We try to redefine where we want to go and what's our potential. What are we going to get done? Because each and every week we have a battle to fight. It's a long season. You meet a lot of obstacles and a lot of things that go on that you're not expecting. Well, here today, we're going to get into what I think it takes to build a winning combination, to build a winning team. But I think before we can get there, I want you to know a little bit about me. Lewis talked about some of my accomplishments. I want to show you where I came from and give you a better idea. As Mayor Fox said, I want to show you where we're going and what we're going to be doing the rest of the day. So guys in the back, would you roll that little piece of tape for me, because everybody can get kind of caught up on who Jeff Hammond is.
Jeff Hammond's road to champion crew chief started on a Saturday morning when he was jolted out of bed by his uncle. He had decided to buy a race car and compete at a local racetrack. From that moment, Jeff found himself in racing's fast lane. Early in his career, racing was a Hammond family affair, something to occupy the summer when school was out. Jeff's real goal was to play professional football. That dream was short-lived, as a torn knee ended his career at East Carolina. So Jeff veered toward turning a wrench for a living. After helping various independent drivers around Charlotte like Tom Pistone and Walter Ballard, 20-year-old Jeff got his big break and offered to work with the famous Junior Johnson. At that time, Cale Yarborough was Johnson's driver, and the team's success was record-breaking. Jeff would share in 3 championships as part of Yarborough's team. During this time, Jeff became one of the premier jackmen on pit road and was mentored by the legend Junior Johnson for a future leadership role. In 1981, Darrell Waltrip would join the Johnson stable and be crowned champion. A year later, Waltrip would need a new crew chief, and Jeff emerged as exactly what the team needed. At age 26, Jeff was now leading the premier race team in the sport. Jeff and DW would win 2 NASCAR Winston Cup titles for Junior in 1982 and 1985. 4 years later, after moving to Hendrick Motorsports, the duo would reach the pinnacle of NASCAR Winston Cup racing. A combination of Jeff's strategic calls from the pit and Darrell Waltrip's cunning driving resulted in the ultimate victory in the 1989 Daytona 500.
Oh, I won the Daytona 500! I won the Daytona 500!
With Jeff Hammond on the pit box calling the shots and Darrell Waltrip behind the wheel, the duo would win 43 times in 10 seasons together. In 2001, after a short stint at Roush Racing, Jeff and Darrell would be reunited as Jeff made the tough decision to trade in his wrenches to enter the Hollywood Hotel on the very popular NASCAR on Fox telecast as one of the show's analysts. Through his work on television and behind the scenes, Jeff continues to be a NASCAR insider with a cutting-edge approach to the sport.
Coming in. We're here! We're here! Woo!
Now, that wasn't supposed to be laughing about that, you know. Yeah, I'm a little bit goofy sometimes, folks, because I love what I do. I love what my career has turned into. And because of that, you know, I've had a lot of opportunities. I mean, you saw right there at the end. I've been skydiving with the Golden Knights. I've flown with the Thunderbirds and the Blue Angels, and I get an opportunity to go spend time with our troops. So, as Lewis alluded to, it's great to be an American and have all these great things happen here in this country. But You also see that I've been associated with Junior Johnson, Hall of Famer, Cale Yarborough and Darrell Waltrip, who will be inducted in the Hall of Fame right around the corner here in January. And, you know, I guess I could stand up here and say, yep, I did pretty good. Won them a race, won them championships, won the belt buckles, got the gold rings to go with it. But folks, as you can see from where my career came from, I grew up here in North Carolina. I didn't complete college. I'm not an engineer. I do not have a PhD. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just a guy who took a love and parlayed it in the right direction with the right people. And it all worked out really well because of one thing. We had a great team. We had a great group of men and women that came together at different times during the course of my career, and we were successful. We worked hard. We figured out things. We communicated. And today, that's really what I want to focus in on. Communication, teamwork, the ability to deal with problems, and in the end, you can be successful. Now, I know we got one or two in the house. How many NASCAR fans we got here? Anybody take the time to watch NASCAR? I see a few hands there. Good. What do you like about NASCAR? What do you get out of it? Speed. Competition. Come on. Y'all don't let me down. What else? Teamwork. I'm looking for another one. Technology. Danger. Now we're getting closer. What else do you like about the danger? The risk. What else? I'm looking for the one word. What's the thing that excites you the most? Ah, there it is. There it is. Give that lady right there a gold star. How many of you wanted to say crashes to begin with, but you were afraid somebody would make fun of you? Huh? Be honest and think about it. How many times do you go to it when you're watching a race on TV, or if you go to a race, what are you looking for? Can they tear it up? Are they going to get out and fight it? What's going to happen next? I mean, that's what you're looking for. You want for the, I mean, let's be real about it. It doesn't make you a bad person, because that's what we expect in our business. It is exciting. It is dangerous. If it wasn't, I mean, we'd all take up checkers, you know. But because of all of that, you have to have what? You have to have a group of people who work together to fix the crashes, don't you? And you got a plan for that. You're not allowed to take one race car and start the season and expect to finish the season. It doesn't work that way in our business. When I first got into the business, we had two race cars. We had a super speedway car and a short track car. And I can remember very distinctly, if we crashed, like when I first went to work for Junior Johnson and Cale was driving, he had crashed at Darlington. And we went back to the shop, immediately started taking the engine out. After the race that night, it was about 2 o'clock in the morning, got the engine out, loaded the car up, went to Banjo Matthews, because we didn't have our own facility to be able to fix cars back then. And I worked the next 2.5 days without sleeping to repair the car so we'd go to Richmond the next weekend. So technology's come a long way. So now we have a big fleet of cars. We have all these people that can work on them. We are able to plan way out ahead and have all these cars ready to race so that if we do crash, we can adjust to it. So we start our planning, we start our communication and everything. When you're watching these types of races, anybody ever think much about the strategy, or you just watch the race and enjoy it, right? Well, we start planning strategy a long time before we even drop the green flag. We start thinking about what is it going to take, how many pit stops, what kind of adjustments we want to make. All those things right there kind of come into play. I think pit road is one of the most interesting and exciting places to be, having worked on it as a jack man, a tire changer, several different capacities as far as a crewman's concerned. But I think it's one of the most exciting places to be when a race is going on, is actually right there on the battlefield to a certain degree, making it happen. In the next clip, I want you to watch what is going on and see if you can pick out any mistakes or anything that kind of like catches your eye. So I should have told you this before I started. You're not going to get a chance to sit out there and go to sleep on me. All right? We're going to keep this thing going today. We're going to make some things happen because I want to challenge you each and every time to see if you're actually maybe catching some of these things that we got going on. Guys, how about rolling out in the back? We're going to go take a little visit down on pit road. We're smoking.